All right, we talked about this with Hugh. By the way, how's your eye? Because he was punching you in the eye.
Nah, that's all right.
That last interview. With,
I don't know. Hugh, I don't know what
MVP
numbers he's talking about. Then he's talking about all the come from behind. He's only had 3 this year.
Okay.
All the come from
only
behind.
3? He said
only
4.
3.
He was 1 off. You sure? But anyway,
yeah,
it was 3 or 4. That's a lot.
I checked the numbers during the break. I love Hugh.
And you keep saying.
He's wrong on this one. That's all.
You keep saying that Mahomes didn't lead the league in any major category. He led the league in yards per game.
Okay, Chris. What else?
That's not a major category. I'm just saying.
No, I'm asking you
what else? Category.
Okay, other than that, what else?
No, nothing. But I'm just saying that technically is not right. That's a major category. But anyway, we want to talk about this, Rob, because he brought up, we both brought up to him Derrick Henry and the possibility of him. But Brandon Marshall, who's a co-host of First Things First, obviously was a great wide receiver in the NFL for many years. He actually thinks, Rob, that Derrick Henry should be the MVP. Here's his take.
This is 100% injury rate. Think about that. All right, before I even get into the injury rate thing, let's talk about this whole what's harder, whether running for 2,000 yards or throwing for 38 touchdowns, 48 touchdowns with Patrick Mahomes, and also where Aaron Rodgers is at. Those guys are in a company of like almost 30 people, 30 quarterbacks who've done that before. This guy lives in a fraternity of 2, him and Terrell Davis, 2 running backs. Do you guys understand how significant this is? We're talking about a running back. Any moment, an ankle can go, a knee can go. It doesn't have to be a game-ending injury. It doesn't have to be a game, season-ending injury. We're talking about this guy being able to stay healthy this long so he can hit this mark. Most of these guys that's done it, it's only been 8. They're going into week 17 needing 150 yards, 160 yards. So it's coming down to the wire to cross the finish line. This guy needed 37 yards, and he went for 254 or something like that. This is absolutely ridiculous. So, Nick, I've been talking about this jet ski and trying to paint the picture of the MVP hierarchy for the last several weeks. I also said that if Derrick Henry goes for over 2,000 yards, he should be the MVP. These guys been going back and forth all year. Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
So what's it now?
All right, that's last week. You know what's better, Nick, than riding a jet ski? Riding a dolphin. That's what's better. Riding a dolphin. This is where it's at right now. Derrick Henry is the MVP.
Wow, they got some nice sound effects on that one. But let me clear a few things up that he said, Rob. When he mentioned, and Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm going off the top of my head on this. But when he said that only 2 players have done what Derrick Henry and Terrell Davis did, I think he meant they're the only 2 players to lead the league in rushing yards and touchdowns in back-to-back seasons.
That's correct. They both had at least 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. They're the only 2 to ever do that.
So is it both of what I said, or
no? It's not back-to-back. It's just in general.
Because he is one of the few though to lead the league in touchdowns and yards in back-to-back seasons. But I don't know if it's just 2 of them. But then with the 8, when he said 8, there's only been 8 running backs that have rushed for 2,000 or more yards in a season. Now, Rob, 4 of those, let's say the previous 7, 4 of the previous 7 have won the MVP. That would be O.J. Simpson, Adrian Peterson, Barry Sanders, and Terrell Davis. Look, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP, and I don't have any problem with that. But if shocker of all shockers, if they gave it to Derrick Henry, I got to be honest, I would not raise a fuss. And here's why. We all know, obviously, the 2,000 yards. 126.7 yards per game rushing. But I think, and you talked about it with Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers, that Mahomes had more help was your argument. Okay, I think Aaron has had much more help than Derrick Henry has in Tennessee. And here's what I'll say. Rodgers he's obviously the quarterback, so the passing game is all up to him. But the rushing game, he had the 8th best rushing game in the NFL. And Aaron Jones was 4th in the NFL in rushing. Then Derrick Henry, he was the rushing game. His passing game was 23rd in the league. So they didn't throw the ball all that well. Ryan Tannehill had a nice season for a game manager, great season for a game manager, but they don't throw it all that great. And so we know it's all about Henry, and yet he ran for 2,000. Defensively, Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay has the 9th best defense, and Tennessee, the 28th best defense. So he led them to an 11-5 record. I'm not going to say he should get it over Rodgers, but if he does, I think it'll be justified.
I don't. I think he had, and the list, it ain't like it's automatic with 2,000 yards. That's the lie that people are putting out there. It's not automatic.
Said 4 of 7. Right.
There's 3 guys who rushed for 2,000 yards who didn't win the MVP. Eric Dickerson in 1984, Jamal Lewis, 2003, and I remember Chris Johnson, who was on the Titans, wasn't he? In 2009, yep. And he didn't win the MVP. And it's no knock to the year that he had, and he put up. Who did they win in beat in their last game? I don't remember. The Titans.
Houston.
A bad Houston team that he was able to run for 254 yards.
So that was easy?
No, that's not easy.
You can't poo-poo it. Come on.
I'm just saying, but it's like the Brady putting up the 10 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks
why
against
you say
bad
that
teams.
about everybody?
Chris,
but when Aaron
can I make my point?
I'm just asking.
No, but I want to make my
standard.
point. You just said you just had 10 minutes.
It's just a double standard.
Let me make my point.
Can we keep it fair?
No, can I make my point is all I want. I let you talk for 10 minutes. I just want my chance.
It was like 4 minutes, but go ahead.
No, it was like 10 minutes.
No, it wasn't.
It sounded like 10 minutes.
The segment would be over, but go ahead.
Okay, it sounded like 10 minutes because it was so convoluted and I didn't know where you were going.
Can you give me some fairness? That's all I'm good. Go ahead.
No, no. All right. My point is just this. I just think Aaron Rodgers, with what he was able to accomplish, his numbers were through the roof in all the categories. And the other part was this, that they did, take the number 1 seed in the NFC. I think that's major, that you had the best team, or you clinched the number 1 seed. I think that matters, and I think that he was able to do it, even missing some pieces. And granted, this might be one of the best teams he's ever had, but he no doubt lifted that team. And the 2 big games that I saw there was against the Titans, where he blew them out 40-14, and they held Derrick Henry under 100 yards in that game, and they beat the Saints in New Orleans. Those were 2 big wins for them, and I think he didn't do anything. He had the one bad day at the office against Tampa Bay. They were up 10-0. He threw 2 picks, and when you think about that, he threw 2 and just 3 the whole rest of the season. He was unbelievable with the football, and he had almost 50 touchdowns. He had a hell of a year. If he doesn't win the MVP, then you can't win an MVP.
Well, no, he had a great year. Like I said, I fully expect him to be the MVP. I'm just saying I thought Henry was good enough where if he gets it,
I think
I won't raise a fuss. Because I think he's had an MVP year too. And
I'm
I don't
not saying
think
he's not in the
help.
conversation. That's not. I think he's ahead of Patrick Mahomes. I said this before.
He'll be second. I
think he'll be second. Yeah,
I think he'll be second. But if he
don't
wins,
disagree with that.
You would consider it a robbery if he won.
I would just think that I would be shocked that Aaron Rodgers didn't win, putting up the season and being the number 1 seed in the NFC. I think the record says a lot too. It's not like he put those numbers up and they're a wild card team because Minnesota won a division. It would be a little different, Chris. It would be.
Yeah, no, and like I said, he had more help than.
You disagree with that?
No, and that's why, like you mentioned, Chris Johnson. Some of it, the reason some of these guys didn't win it when they ran for 2,000 because their record wasn't very good. 11-5 is big when you got one of the worst defenses in the NFL and a lower tier, bottom 10 passing game, and he was able to go for 2,000. I mean that's impressive. Like I said, I think Rodgers will win it. But if Henry were to somehow get it, I wouldn't consider it robbery. I'd be like, hey, he
Well, you would be happy because you could keep your Mahomes narrative going for.
No, I got that. That's still what. So what? Why can't that keep? What's the narrative is what that he could one day be the GOAT?
No, it's just that the last 2 years he would have been beaten by a younger quarterback than him and an older quarterback. That's all.
Beaten?
Yeah,
Who was he
beaten
beating? Last year he won the Super Bowl.
No, I'm talking about the regular season.
That's irrelevant.
Chris. No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Once you get to the playoffs, I don't care about that. I'm serious.
What did Cliff Kingsbury say?
Rings.
Oh, they should swap them. They should swap in and out every other year between Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes. They should swap.
That wasn't me.
That was the expectation that he's going to win the MVP every year. Come on, man.
Look, don't put that on me. That's got nothing to do with me. I'm just saying.
But that was the thinking.
You can't sit here and tell me. That wasn't my thinking. You can't sit here and tell me he got beat last year. He won the Super Bowl. He was the finals or the
I'm talking
Super Bowl
about
MVP.
That's all I'm talking about.
Don't really care.
He's supposed to be that guy. He hasn't come close to 50 touchdowns since year one. Not close. Not close.
And
Chris, you said he would be better in year 2. Go back. I got the tape.
You told me that.
You told me
the Super Bowl.
You told me this year. You told me, they got a running back. Look at the weapons. They got even better. They got better in the offseason. Look at all the weapons that they got. Oh my God, he's gonna be unstoppable. You on the radio week 1. Week one,
the
Chris.
Super Bowl.
No, I'm not talking about that. Stop trying to distract what I'm
about.
We got the tape.
I would say
week 1. Chris, can I talk?
Which season are we talking about?
This season, after year 1, you said he was a clear-cut overall favorite to win the MVP. That's what you said.
Favorite? Okay.
After week 1. And I wouldn't agree with you. We'll play the tape.
That's fine. You want applause? Yippee!
No, I'm just trying to tell you, it ain't automatic. That's all. It ain't automatic.
But my narrative will not change. My narrative is this.
And when they get knocked out by Buffalo, your narrative will change. We'll see,
it won't.
All right?
Because I don't expect them to win the Super Bowl every year. But my narrative is this, that Patrick Mahomes can be Jordan-esque. That's it. Michael Jordan didn't win the MVP every year. He won it 5 times in 15 years.
No, you're just glazing
over. Did I say something that wasn't a fact?
Did I
say something that wasn't a fact?
Ryan, I want you to get the tape from after Patrick Mahomes played game 1. Chris had a hissy fit that I didn't agree that he was going to win the MVP. He had an absolute hissy fit
he was the
that
favorite.
I wouldn't sign off on it that he was going to win the MVP. We'll play the tape tomorrow. All right? I want you to hear you and how ridiculous you sound.
No, we won't play the tape tomorrow.
Yes, we will play the tape tomorrow.
This is a joint show.
Yes, we will.
You don't make no demands
We'll play
like
the
that.
tape.
If we don't both agree, we're not playing it.
We're playing the tape.
Please. But congratulations, maybe. We'll see if your boy Aaron Rodgers wins it. But my narrative about Pat Mahomes will not change.
Can we go to a break? We don't want to hear your narrative. We've heard it enough. All right,
to be Jordan-esque.
Thanks, everybody.
On pace
Good night.
to possibly be
the show over
the
yet?
GOAT.
All right, Kevin. Is Kevin Figures there?
Yeah, we got Kevin here on the hot seat. Let's do it.
Yo, Kev, you were trying to duck us. What's up with that?
You didn't want none?
No. You guys are trying to duck me. Let's not get it twisted. Let's go.
All right, brother. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Who's hosting this thing?
I am, yes.
All right, come on.
That's all right. This is The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. This is the hot seat where members of the Fox Sports Radio family step into the ring with Chris and Rob and defend 3 of their hottest takes. Now we've got our man Kevin Figures here. Play the drop, Sam.
Remember they would lick the heads of people sitting in the front row?
Not that
Yes,
one.
they were-
Not that one. There we go. All right.
Oh, so he got his own theme music?
That's right.
My
That's
goodness.
right. That's right.
Wow.
Big deal out here in AM 570 LA Sports. Let's look at Kevin's first take, and that is Tim Duncan is not the best power forward of all time, but rather Kevin Garnett is. Figgy, you got 30 seconds. Let's go.
Well, I could just start with the intangibles and not even bring up all the stats, which I can get to later. But being an inspirational leader, bringing that intensity every night, always played hard, held his teammates accountable, That's what a leader does. One of the most intense players of all time, defensive player of the year, phenomenal on all ends of the floor. There was not a single hole in his game. That's why he's the best of all time.
Will you stop it? I mean, come on. Look, I like KG as much as the next man, but nobody puts him ahead of Tim Duncan, all right? 5 rings. Count them. 5 rings. All right? He didn't have Paul Pierce playing with him. He didn't have Ray Allen playing with him. Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili are nice, but they're not Pierce and Ray Allen, and yet he still was able to win 5 rings. He stepped in the league when the Admiral, David Robinson, was in his prime and immediately became the team's best player. Are you kidding me? Stop it!
Go ahead, Kev.
All right, let's get it straight here, Chris. Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker are going to the Hall of Fame. So was Kawhi Leonard. He gravy trained his way to the last championship he won in San Antonio. Yes, he did have David Robinson, who's one of the best big men of all time. Kevin Garnett, for the majority of his career, played with who? Who was his second best player in Minnesota? Wally Zerbiak? This guy was putting up phenomenal numbers. He was never expected to win championships in Minnesota because he didn't have the talent around him. He put up huge numbers. If you traded Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett and put KG in San Antonio, they win just as much, if not more.
Kev, stop it. You're just mad because Tim Duncan wore sandals all the time because he's from the Bahamas. This guy is one Ray Allen shot away from being 6-0 in the finals. What, are you kidding me? And you're acting like he had nothing to do with it. And if I remember correctly, Tony Parker was a second-round pick. Yes, he's going to the Hall of Fame because Tim Duncan made him a great player, opened up his game, and Manu Ginobili. So don't act like Tim Duncan didn't have anything to do with him. That's why you know who Greg Popovich is. Tim Duncan is better than KG.
Well, that was a tough one. Very strong arguments on both sides. KG was also fantastic in Uncut Gems, but I will give the edge to the Odd Couple on this one because I do agree.
Of course you should.
Oh, come on,
Being
Bert.
nice.
That's
It
ridiculous.
was more than an edge, believe me.
Please, not even close.
It's all right, Figgy. I've got to pad their stats a little bit here because you know what's about to happen on this one.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
2, despite
What are we, the Patrick Mahomes of the radio? You padding our stats? Okay, go ahead. Let's talk.
Despite the Padres' moves, the Dodgers are still a cut above every other team in the NL West and the NL as a whole. Figgy, you got 30 seconds.
Look, the cute little team in San Diego happened to get themselves a couple of good pitchers, and that's excellent. The Dodgers, what have they lost? If anything, they're going to gain this coming season. They won the World Series, and Cody Bellinger had the worst season of his career. He's going to have a bounce-back year. Whether they lose Justin Turner or not, they have reserves coming in. Gavin Lux is one of the best prospects in all of Major League Baseball. He could possibly make an impact for them this year. There's nothing that they're missing at this point in time outside of maybe an extra arm in the bullpen, and they could probably even win again with that. So the Padres are a nice up-and-coming story, but they're not a given.
Stop it, Kevin. What are you talking about? Let me tell you, last year only 2 teams won more games than the Padres. You know what 2 teams? The 2 teams that made it to the World Series. They weren't on the outside looking in, and they were good. They also scored 325 runs. Guess what? Only the Dodgers scored more. And then they went out and added 2 ace pitchers at the top of their rotation. One guy who finished second in Cy Young and a guy who has a Cy Young in his back pocket. And they have the best, most exciting player in the game.
All right, that's really, really cute, Rob. Yes, they added a couple of Cy Young candidates, one who won, and Yu Darvish. Dodgers fans know exactly what he can do at big moments, and that's totally meltdown. He did it with the Rangers, and he possibly would do it now with the San Diego Padres. I see that come with the Dodgers. You mentioned, they scored more runs than the Padres. Yes, they finished with a better record than the Padres, and that's going to happen again. This is also going to be a marathon of a season. Last year was a sprint. Who knows what's going to happen through the course of an entire season for the Padres? The Dodgers are proven they can win over 100 games through a full regular season. Who knows what the Padres can do?
I don't know, Figures. I mean, Clayton Kershaw isn't getting any younger. That's for darn sure. And look, the Padres had a nice pitching staff already. Now you add Blake Snell and Yu Darvish? Come on. Fernando Tatis, where's he going? He's only going up. He's only getting better. Manny Machado is back to his old self. I mean, come on. The Padres are ready. I know you're mad about it. The rain might be over. I still like the Dodgers, but do not sleep on the boys down south.
To put it simply, everything the Padres can do, the Dodgers can do better. Rob, you did a really good job of pointing out the fact that the Dodgers are, in fact, a better team. So the point here goes to Kevin Figures.
Bam.
You know what? As Ryan is in every Instagram picture with a Dodger hat on, a Dodger homer,
You knew
we
he
already
was
know
going
he
with
is. Chris, we had no shot at that one.
Yep.
None.
No, you
None.
didn't. It's all right. All right, but you might have a shot at this one because now we're all square at 1-1. But for his third point, Kevin Figures says that Chick-fil-A is overrated. Figgy, you got 30 seconds.
I don't understand the hype. It's literally just chicken. There's nothing special about it. If you're telling me the appeal to Chick-fil-A is a variety of sauces, then that tells me that the actual product is not that good. I'll never understand the driveway being full. It's similar to In-N-Out. There's nothing special about Chick-fil-A whatsoever.
Kev,
Just
you
'cause
sound
he
like
didn't- go ahead.
you
Go
sound
ahead.
like Yogi Berra. I don't go to that restaurant anymore. It's always too crowded. Come on, Kev. What are you talking about? Have you tried the waffle fries? They're to die for. Are you kidding me? And the chicken sandwich is delicioso. Yes, that's why there's always a line outside Chick-fil-A. They're not giving out stimulus checks. They're giving out good-tasting food.
The waffle fries are just as overrated as their bland chicken, and you know it, Rob. Don't get it twisted here. Stop it. I can get a better chicken sandwich at Popeyes, to be honest with you. That sandwich is worth the wait. Not anything at Chick-fil-A. Totally overrated, not worth it. The only reason the lines are long is because of the novelty of it. There's nothing special about it. It's word of mouth being passed on. Man, Chick-fil-A is so amazing. I had to try it out. Then once you try it, you realize they're not
Kevin,
that good.
there is not a fast food joint in America who has chicken nuggets like Chick-fil-A. McDonald's, no way. Burger King, ha. Wendy's, not even close. It's Chick-fil-A by a mile. Then, as Rob said, the waffle fries. I mean, the biscuits and the bread. I mean, it's delicious. And on top of that, they don't only feed me physically, but I get a Bible verse on like the carton or something like that.
Well, you know, Chris
So I
is
get
soul
fed
right there.
spiritually too. Come on. It's Chick-fil-A by a mile.
The only time that and you said what, a Popeyes chicken sandwich. The only thing is that it doesn't taste as good because it comes through the bulletproof glass. So
Just because it's true don't mean you got to say it, Rob.
All right, oh man. Now this is a tough one. Now Figgy knows my affinity for all fast food, really, so it's hard for me to dislike any fast food, and I do enjoy Chick-fil-A. However, guys, there is no pain quite like pulling up to Chick-fil-A all ready to get yourself dinner for that night and then completely forgetting that it's a Sunday. The point goes to Kevin Figures.
There we go, Bert.
Look at this.
There you go, Bert, my man. Thank you.
Chris, this was rigged. This was rigged. You know
Totally
what?
rigged.
So what shift did y'all swap or something? There's some shift that Ryan needed off, so he got K-Fig, and now he's going to hook him up.
Exactly. Come on.